Today I'm going to show you guys how to get this LED tube look by building a backdrop for less than $100 and potentially using equipment that you already own. As long as there have been fluorescent tubes, there probably have been fluorescent lights in the background of photographs. I think this became a lot more prominent when LED tubes became available on the market. I saw a look that was similar to this and I decided to recreate it, but instead of using very expensive tubes, I ended up using flash and building a $100 background. Today's tutorial is going to show you how I went about doing that, and hopefully you'll be inspired to do it yourself. So the first thing I did was take two 4x8 foot panels of foam core, and I cut 5 1.5 inch by 36 inch strips into each one. Once I was done cutting the strips, I hinged them together using gaffer tape. I then set them upright, and behind each one I placed a 4.5 foot by 6 foot softbox and blasted 1200 watt seconds of light through each one. Now, one thing about my setup that I think was better than the inspiration images is that instead of shooting at high ISO with low depth of field, I was able to shoot at f11 at 100 ISO, which created far sharper images and gave me a lot of shadow detail. When I had my models facing the camera, their faces were a little dark, so I augmented the light by using a 1 by 3 foot strip box. The reason I used this skinny modifier was so that I could create a skinny catch light in each eye that would mimic the skinny lights in the background. Now, one mistake I made was making the slits go all the way to the edge of the foam core. This meant that there was nothing supporting the weight and the background began to droop over time. While it did allow me to shoot right into the corner, which was a cool look, the problem was that the backdrop really didn't last very long. So if I were to do this over again, I would probably leave about 1 to 2 inches on each edge, and that way I would have a far more sustainable backdrop, although I wouldn't get the same look, but I think that would be something you might want to try. So because of the material that I was cutting into, the cuts weren't exactly smooth. Maybe if I had taken a little bit longer to make each one of them and been more patient, it would have had a different result, but I think I still would have been in the same boat when it came to post-production. I had to outline each of the strips with a straight line lasso tool and then press delete. It didn't take a lot of time, but it was something that I was able to fix in post. Now, I tried to mix things up by using a white background, and I cut circles using a dinner plate as a template. But the problem with this look was that it took a very long time to clean up those edges in Photoshop because I couldn't use the straight line tool, and I just sort of had to use a very large circular eraser with a hard edge. So I wouldn't suggest doing circles, but I would suggest doing this with straight lines if you're interested in trying this look out at home. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I've also written an extensive blog post about this topic, which I will link to in the description. Anyway, if you're watching this on Instagram TV, you can always watch it on YouTube. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit subscribe so you can see more videos like this. Thank you guys so much for your time. Have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.